Yo people, what's happening? The Liverpool Prophet back again with another video. It's been a while since I've done some Liverpool related content. Obviously with the Euros going on, you know I'm kind of trying to balance Liverpool content with the Euros content, but it's been too long for me, in my opinion, that I've done a video about Liverpool, and we're gonna get into one today. The Euros are still going on, by the way. Germany against Switzerland tonight. I will drop a match reaction on that along with the other Euros games. I'll have a separate video on the Euros roundup. I might drop that tonight or I might drop that tomorrow morning, depends. But yeah, let's get into the Liverpool video today. Today I'm going to be talking about well, what are my expectations for Liverpool in the coming season. So obviously the season gone, Liverpool we finished third. We got I think we got 70 shooting points. Can't remember off the top of my head. Won a Carabao Cup as well, secured Champions League as well, which is the main thing for me. We got back in the Champions League after missing out, the season before, and then ended up in the Europa League. Them Europa League nights, I never want to hear that Europa League music again. Unfortunately, I don't want to hear it again. So yeah, Champions League nights are back at Anfield next season. They're not going to hit the same without Klopp, but they're back again. So let's enjoy them next season, because we may not be in it. We may not be in it for a while. And yeah, so the season gone. If I had to rate it on a scale 1 to 10, I'd probably give it a 6. I think at the beginning of last season, I think no one expected us to challenge with the signings that we brought in. It was kind of a transitional year, and as you can see, the way Liverpool played football last year, the football wasn't, we weren't at our best football-wise. It was kind of transitional football. So with this new signings, that's understandable. They needed time to bed in and that, and we did lose a lot of players: Henderson, Fabinho, Bobby, a lot of players. But I think if I had to rate out of 10, I would give it a 6 out of 10. I think Klopp did really well last year, having us challenging for as long as he did. With the signings we had, I'm really surprised that they, from the beginning we did gel in. We gelled pretty well from the beginning. Everyone was buying into it, and it is. I'd give it a 6 out of 10. It could have been better. We could have won the title. But certain factors happened, and obviously Liverpool fell away. We won a Carabao Cup, which was really special, the way we won that. But let's get into this season, upcoming season. So obviously, as I record this video, the transfer window's open, but we haven't done any business. No surprise there. We know how cheap the owners are, but we haven't done no business so far as I record the video. So hopefully, maybe within a couple of days, the next couple of weeks, that changes, because our squad does need investment. We need massive investment, because if we go into next season with the squad that we've had this year, it could get a bit sticky for us. But expectations for this season, obviously, we have a new manager now, Arne. There's going to be a bit of a transitional year from Klopp football to Slot football, however Slot wants to play football. For me, personally, what I want to see us Liverpool do is, I think, retaining Champions League. It's important. It's very important we finish in the top 4 again and get Champions League football for the season after next. We don't want to go backwards. We don't want to finish 5th, 6th, 7th, because then we're looking at a regression. We're slowly becoming like Chelsea, like United. Obviously we've lost Klopp, and that's huge. It's huge. But we need to make sure that we stay ahead of the curve, so we don't fall off too much. We still want to be. It's very hard for me to sit here and say, Liverpool are going to challenge again. We're going to win. We're going to compete. Without Klopp here, I'm really not sure about competing at the top no more. I don't think it's possible really without Jurgen, because what Klopp did with the low budget, working with basically no money, turning, working from the academy, working with the squad we have, it was brilliant what Klopp did. But let's be honest, Slot isn't going to be able to do that. He's not going to be able to work miracles like Klopp did. He's going to need money. He's going to need backing, and unfortunately, I don't think he's going to get that. I just think the owners are going to hang him out to dry, and I think, we could, if we aren't backed in being for a tough season. But for me, yeah, I would say top 4 is a priority. Making sure we finish 4th, and if we do get some decent signings, if it's a big if, I'd expect a title challenge, because I'd expect us to be up there with City and Arsenal still competing for the league. Maybe we don't win it, but with some decent signings, I'd expect to be still challenging at the top. But that's for the league for me. I think top 4 key, and if we can mount a title challenge again, even better, brilliant. But as for the domestic cups, I'm not too sure about this, because Klopp didn't really take domestic cups too seriously either. I'd say a deep run in the FA Cup semi-finals, quarter-finals. That'd be a good cup run. If we can win a cup again, it'd be good for Slot to win something in his first year. Have a trophy in the bank. But Carabao Cup, I'd say the same thing. Quarter-finals, semi-finals. If we can win that, great. It'd be nice. Now for the big one, the Champions League. It all depends on the group we get. I think if we get a good group, if we get a nice group, I think we should be getting out of the group stage. Being Liverpool, even if we're not doing too well in the league, the Champions League is kind of an escape for us, because history, heritage, we always do well in the Champions League when we're on it. When we turn it on, I think the 3 years that we were really, really on it in the Champions League, we got to 3 finals in there. So one of them we won, but them European nights at Anfield, I think if we do struggle in the league, I think we may be able to find a bit of solace in the Champions League. I think the fans will get behind the players, and I think the Champions League will, I'd expect at least, depending on the draws we get, a quarter-finals, semi-finals, a deep one in the Champions League. If we can galvanise Anfield, if we can make Anfield special like it is on a European night, then there's no reason why we can't get to the final again. There's no reason why we can't lift number 7. But expectation on Slot. Now, I'm 50-50 on Slot. I'm not. At the beginning, I was pretty excited about him, but as time's gone on, I've kind of become a bit underwhelmed by the appointment. I think the manager was a key thing that FSD needed to get right. We all wanted Xabi Alonso, obviously, to replace Klopp. We didn't get Alonso. Getting in Slot, he's not a bad manager. He's a pretty decent coach, but it's very, very underwhelming. He's not who we wanted. He's not who the fans wanted, and it's an underwhelming appointment, and it's very risky as well, because we know the Dutch league can't compete with the Premier League. We've seen how Ten Hag struggled at United. It's a big gamble, and the owners have screwed it up, I think, because I could be sitting here this time next year and we've won something. Slot's doing well. He's had a good first year, but I think losing Klopp is if Klopp was still here, I'd expect deep one in the Champions League. Title challenge again. I'd expect us to win the league. I'd expect us to go do well in the cups, but and the football would have been better this season. Being last year being the transition year. This year, if Klopp was still here, we would have seen a proper Liverpool again. Playing that heavy metal rock and roll football. Unfortunately, now with a new manager, we're going to be going to probably another transitional year. But I think if Slot can get the fans on side, if he can have that energy and charisma that Klopp had, I'm not saying he has to do fist pumps as well that Klopp did. He can have his own thing, but I think it's key that he connects with the fans, because he needs to. If he doesn't connect with the fans, he's going to have a bit of a hard time, because one thing Klopp did so well was, even when we were down, when we were having poor seasons, he always knew what to say to keep us believing. When we were on top, he always knew what to say. He always found the right words. He was energetic, his antics on the touchline, we all loved it, all Liverpool fans loved the way he acted on the touchline. The fist bumps at the end, his energy, his charisma, his personality, it's really, really broken my heart that Klopp's left. But if Slot can even do half of what Klopp did, which is unlikely, but if he can recreate the energy and charisma, I think we will be okay next season. But it's a big ask because of replacing Klopp. Let's be honest. Even if we had Alonso, we'd still have been. It still wouldn't have felt the same anymore. It still would have been. We still would have had an emptiness in our hearts, all Liverpool fans, because what Klopp built with us, in 9 years, it's never going to be replaced, really, is it? All Slot can try and do is be himself, be his own manager. If he tries to do exactly what Klopp did, fans are going to we're all just going to start comparing him to Klopp, and we don't want that. We want him to be himself. We want him to have the energy and charisma that a Liverpool manager needs, but he needs to be himself. He needs to have his own style of football. And for me, I've got my fingers crossed for a decent season, but my gut's telling me we could struggle a bit this year. We could struggle a bit. Losing. It's tough at the moment being a Liverpool fan. We're all still reeling from Klopp leaving and bringing Slot in, but what I will say is he came across well in his first interview. He said the right things. That's I do back him. I hope he does well, but at the same time I am a little bit cautious that it could go wrong as well. It could go wrong, but for me, the first season, top 4, we have to finish in the Champions League again with some decent signings. Mount a title challenge. I think we can mount a title challenge. A deep one in both the domestic cups and hopefully a deep run in the Champions League as well. We still have the same players. We still have the same fans. We are still the same fans. If we can do our job, if the players do their job, it will make Slot's life a lot easier. Klopp's successor, he's got a big job this season. He's it's a big job for him, man. You've got you're coming in after Klopp. A big job. Hopefully, good luck to him. But let's wait and see how the transfer window goes. If Liverpool getting some top talent, I'll keep you up to date with the transfer stuff. I will be dropping updates on transfer targets. When transfers are brought in. Hopefully with some decent signings. Liverpool we're still up there challenging. Hopefully we don't see too much of a drop off. We don't want to be going down to 6th, 7th, 11th, 10th, 12th, like the likes of Chelsea and United. We don't want that. We don't want that at all. We want to still be competing. Klopp's left us with a decent squad. He's left us Slot with a decent team, and we'll see what Slot can do, man. We'll see what Slot can do with the players that he has, and hopefully some of his own additions. But that's my expectations for Liverpool this season. Let me know in the comments, Liverpool fans, what your expectations are, your own expectations. Of course, that's my opinion. You might think differently, but yeah, like, subscribe, and peace out. I will be dropping more content soon, so keep tuned.